I gave up on the company last night. Today, I finally got what they actually promised me. But I still don't think it's right. Yeah. So, I know I'm not the only review online that says Nakto's stuff just falls apart right away. But I am one of them. And I'm here to talk about it today. So I first contacted the company about the left crank arm and pedal falling off mid-ride on September 30th. It is now October 15th, and just about an hour ago, I got bolts. What I discovered last night was that I got sick and tired of waiting a month and a half for the dang thing to be sent to me, so I went ahead and reused the stripped, ruined bolt. So hopefully I didn't do any damage to the spindle with that. They hadn't sent me an update saying they were sending it, so how am I supposed to know? So there's a slight difference in lengths on these, and I am not sure that they sent me the right thing. And that absolutely makes me crazy. Not convinced. I'm not convinced it's right at all. So this is the marred up old one that is all bent and deranged inside because of the fact that it started coming off and I didn't know what was happening to fix it. So it banged around for a bit. So this is a new one, but with an old screw. I still have the tools up here. It's literally just one bolt, apparently. Oh, I got so mad last night I sent them an unhappy email. I've been very polite with all of my emails for a month and a half of having a bike with one pedal. I wouldn't recommend working with Nakto. It's the customer service. I mean, the bike is fine. I'm really unhappy with it only being one speed of pedal assist, because that's too fast. You can't use that on a bicycle-dominated space because you're just blowing past everybody when you're on the flat. But if I need any parts, I would prefer... I mean, like, there is the ability to get a 3-speed throttle from Nakto in their parts section. If I can't find it from anyone else, I will go with that. But I'd really rather not. And that would just be me disconnecting this particular wire right here and installing a different displayer. Hopefully it wouldn't have to be slid on, but they do have the exact same displayer that my other folding electric bicycle uses. The CYCLAMATIC CX2 I'm pointing to on the porch, but I don't think you can see it in the shadows. I'm also smacking myself because there's freaking... there are mosquitoes out here. So the things that I love about this bicycle, in the little bit that I got to use it, the short little 37 miles that I got to use it so far, are excellent headlight. It is super nice having the throttle, but you can get the throttle through Ancheer, and I'm going to double check Ancheer's part catalog to see if I can get a 20-inch calibrated 3-speed display off of them, because maybe I should have gone with Ancheer after all. As you can see, I don't have the battery in it right now. I'm charging it up. I'm going to try using it again on Friday, even if the pedals are slightly different lengths. Yeah, so, but I do need to go through and just, because, like, this cover was off and was rubbing the sprockets here. It was rubbing on all of this stuff and making terrible noises the first ride, and that was just what I noticed. And then 2 rides later, and we're not talking huge rides, 2 rides later the left pedal fell off. So I want to make sure things like, are the brakes actually attached? and tightened down all the way, and just everything needs gone over. It's not even funny how worried I am that this bike might fall apart. So it might not be what I use on Friday. That's hard to say. It's probably dangerous. I should probably take the pegs off either end and just make sure that the wheels are tightened the whole way down. Ensure that this weird stuff is all the way tightened. So I'm just gonna have to like bust out every tool ever and make sure that everything's actually on, not gonna fall off. I mean, even a fender falling off could, could leave you stranded if it didn't hurt you, and it could easily hurt you. Let's see, that's tight enough. Yeah, so I gotta give everything a really strong shake and get out the Allen wrenches and the screwdrivers and the wrench set and the socket set, and I am going to replace that one bolt even though I reused the stripped one. I don't know if I should use some Loctite or not. I don't think I have any. I might. Oh no, I do. I might have some Loctite. I'm not sure if you're supposed to use that on a spindle. If you just tighten it enough, don't leave it flopping around, it should be fine. I don't know. So yeah, this bicycle is feeling more like a frustration and a liability than a good idea. It got me to work 3 times before it broke. And there was one ride to the grocery store, and that was it. So, is it a good bike? No. No, I would not say that. It's fine. It just doesn't have good bones. It's not well attached to itself. So I'm going to go over it, make sure everything gets tightened, because I don't believe that it is. Even still, I don't trust it. I've lost all faith, and I am absolutely ticked as heck at how the customer service experience went. Just the fact that every time they replied to my email, they asked me what I was asking, as a reply to me asking to it. And no matter how many times I said to them the exact same thing I had just said, they'd be like, oh great, I'll do it. And then my follow-up of like, are you gonna do this, like we talked about below, reply was, what do you need? Tell me what you need. And when the answer is, I need the hardware, they're like, okay, tell me which hardware. I told them I need the hardware that attaches the crank arm to the spindle. Okay, tell me which bolts and nuts and everything like that. How am I supposed to know? It fell off in the dark. I didn't find it. Then they ignore me for a week, and I follow up, and they're like, okay, so tell us what you need. Exact same conversation all over again. So, I'm not convinced I was talking to the same person every time, but it did keep getting signed off Linda. So Linda at Nakto, she might be the only person checking emails, and I think she only checks them on Wednesdays. But, maybe it's not Linda's fault, but it is Nakto's fault. What the heck? So I might be lucky enough to get this thing back up and running and have a really good experience with it, but my experience with Nakto is a great big don't. Do not purchase directly from Nakto. You'll have a better customer experience when you have Amazon's premium vouching for you. Like, just get the little $4 thing that says it's insured and go with that. But don't trust their assembly. The parts are fine. Each individual part on its own, Chinese part, Chinese made, manufactured, and Chinese partially assembled. And you know what? I trust that plant better than the one in the US, because the final assembly stuff that would happen after it got on the boat and after it was here, that's what I'm having trouble with. So great big frustration. Not a huge fan of the bike so far. It's been sitting for a month and a half as I duke it out with their frickin' customer service. I don't recommend buying from Nakto. there you have it. Just don't recommend it. So I hope you're having a better day than me. And I mean, I guess I'm having a good day now. I finally got a bolt. Not sure if the crank arms are the same size or not. They really don't look it. When they were off, it was easier to tell that there was a significant difference. Who knows if there's the same number of spines on this as that, if the chain's the right size to switch it out. If it's more spines, it wouldn't be. If it's less spines, it wouldn't be. There's no tensioner, as you can see, because it's just one speed in the back and one speed in the front. So yeah, that's not good. I don't like it. If you didn't already know, crank arm and spindle bottom bracket assembly, you have to look up what bottom bracket you have and what spindle you have to figure out how it would be assembled. There can be up to 8 pieces. Apparently this is such a cheap piece of junk, which isn't that surprising, that there's only one bolt. But how am I supposed to know that? I can't know that. And they just told me it didn't need a bolt at all. Just stick it on. Yeah, you'll see that video. I'll put it up. It'll be right there. So that's all. Hope you're having a good evening. Take care. Bye.